Let's jump into some more car builds, shall we? Ford GT is one of the new cars that's been added to the game. I actually really like the new Ford GT, and if you don't, the old Ford GT's in there as well, so you can mix and match versus new versus old, everything. It's all sorted. Anyway, as said, we're buying the Ford GT. I wanted to drive it around a little bit stock. As you already know, we bought it at the race dealership, and so we drive away from the race, well, I don't see the dealership, the race home hub, and then we drive away from it. And then we get to test it out and see what it's like. This is a nice little area. This is going to be my home, because a lot of the things I buy are going to come from this place right here. But it's a nice little area. This area always reminds me of TD2. Every single time I see it, it's like one of those kind of roads that where the expensive houses are. I no doubt see in the future there being some houses. Again, not confirmed, but I would like to see some more houses and stuff come to the game in the future. And also just realized on the map there's like a car and a bike and a plane. I should probably know what all these things are, having played about probably 20 hours total of this game, building up into release. But no, I have no idea. I have many things in this game that I have absolutely no idea about. But the Ford GT felt meaty, and you've got to say, the backfire in this game alone is enough to buy it. It's beautiful. Anyway, so we jump over to the home space now, and we're going to start building this car up into something a little bit more aggressive looking. You want to see the customization, don't? That's the point. So we're at the home hub. I was going to edit this video, like I have edited this video, but I did want to do like a proper edity kind of normal video that I normally do. But I thought, you know what? With the videos on the crew, I just want to show you how long it takes to load to get to things for the most part. Some of them are cut because they are a little bit longer, but for the most part, all these loading things, all the transitions, these are all like in time with the game. The extra long loading is, well, it's not even the events. The events you teleport to the place and you drive to it and boom. It took me a while to get the right color for the Ford GT. It's not there, but you can actually do a fine-tuned color like you can a la Forza or something different like that. And you can modify that color to make it exactly as you want it, which is bloody beautiful. I like to add the blue onto the Ford GT. I could have done any color Ford GT, but let's face it, it needs to be this. I realized that the three cars that I can think of are the Skyline that I've built, and then the Skyline on the second video, which was also blue, and then I did another car that's blue. I'm obsessed with blue cars. Blue and red. I bet the next car's red. I did a yellow Koenigsegg, so that's absolutely fine. Then I wanted to go through, and you can actually choose the different types of paints. Now, I'm actually customizing this vehicle downstairs. You'll notice you can do that. You can customize them absolutely anywhere in the home. You don't have to customize them upstairs, which is very, very nice indeed. I quite like the idea of being able to customize it at home, but at the same time, I much prefer being able to customize the vehicles at a shop, and I'm hoping they do that in the future at some point. But again, it detracts from the home space. What would you do in the home otherwise? It's a good question. Anyway, we have here the hoods. So the hood is absolutely tiny on the Ford GT. There's nothing to it, but it's got some options. If you want some carbon fiber hoods on your Ford GT, then go for it. There's absolutely useless. The vent is also a bit dumb, but let's go for it. Now, the front bumpers, some nice ones in there, some nice clean ones, some nice basic ones, and then the great meaty one that I went for. And there's wide fenders. Yes! They haven't left out the fact that people like wide fenders. Now, I'm gonna say one little thing that frustrates me about this wide body kit. Although it's bloody beautiful, I adore it. Thank you very much, Ivory Tower, for actually adding a wide body to the game. You can't bring the wheels out. It's a little bit annoying, as far as I know. Now, I have, again, got some other videos coming out soon with some features that I didn't know about that may answer this question, but we'll see when it comes to the actual game. But so far, it looks a little bit annoying, I know. But again, maybe we have to progress. Normally, we would have unlocked a lot more features later in the game by owning this car because, well, I was at like level 1 and I had about $10 million. So, granted, the rest of it's bloody great. The big meaty wang. And later on I realized, it weirded me out afterwards. I looked, the exhaust moved to the bottom and it looks weird not having anything there. The exhaust needs to be there. It looks naked. But it's okay. I was thinking about going blue on this car, but I decided against it because I know people would probably shout at me. I will at some point use the interior colors, but now I'm going to do some magic. I'm going to create a absolutely next level Ford GT, but adding something it definitely needs. and that is stripes. Stripes on the Ford GT, highly, highly needed. It's just got to be done. Otherwise, is it even a Ford GT? The back, again, looks a little bit weird without it, but I think the stripes definitely help it. I did, as I mentioned, I got frustrated at the fact that the wheels just don't fit. So I did want to actually try and consider removing those body panels. But again, hopefully there is a feature that can fix. And I'm not just throwing this into the air like generic PR bomb. I'm literally saying that there is genuinely a thing that may fix this that I'm going to make a video of next week. So you'll know exactly when it gets uploaded, I promise. But yeah, though, now one thing I didn't even realize, you can actually set it as your fast fave from the home space. Pretty cool. Onto the driving. I don't know how fast he was going, but this is absolutely awesome. I love the way the Ford GT drives, and the presence of this thing is insane. It's proper supercar presence. The interior is race car. It feels like a brilliant combination of pretty much everything I'd want in a car like this. I one day wish I could own something like this, like a modern sports car, but at the same time I would end up buying like some other stuff instead, because I like many of it. It's one of those cars that makes me almost want to cheat on the fact that I love the tuner cars and that kind of lower end class of cars, and one day we'll own something like this because it is stupid. The backfire, I love it. The big wang, the wide fenders, dodgy wheels. But anyway, let's take it to the racetrack because it's a race car. Now I wanted to do the slalom tests. Remember back in the day, these slalom tests were frustrating. I managed to do it pretty well. Again, I'm at the very early beginning of the game, granted, but it didn't feel annoying to do. The car is definitely less floaty. Playing this challenge on this game, you can tell there's a massive difference between this version of the game and the previous. Just by doing these, you would slide and wobble everywhere, and it would feel all over the place and weird. In the previous game, especially if you turned off all the assists, well, this time around, it's planted, it's ready to go. The physics, again, it's the same problem with Need for Speed. Everybody saw that Need for Speed Payback, the physics overall were improved massively. They were not to the taste of my liking. I would have preferred like a more grip style stuff, but they were improved. The cars were much weightier, the cars were much grippier. Go back to 2015, the handling's all over the place and weird. It's a similar style thing here, but the fact that brake to drift isn't a thing unless you're on a drift car, which is how it should be. Thank you, Fergus. I love you. All right. Thank you. And that. People ask, wow, this looks less realistic than A, B, or C. The game's not trying to be mega realistic, and I'm okay with that. I like arcade races. What I don't like is when they go tap a brake and you start drifting around the corner. This has no brake to drift. It's a magic miracle. I may have to relaunch the anti-brake to drift shirts for when the game got to be like, yes, rep the merch because you're playing the crew too. Anyway, I see myself doing a big road trip in this, like seeing myself doing many videos in this car. Granted, having driven this thing around, I noticed the wheel arch problem less, but I'm hoping, I'm praying, that, as I said, the feature that I mentioned can fix the issue we have here, because it's frustrating. Like, when you notice it, when it's sat still, why? Another thing I wanted to mention is you see these cars driving around the track here. This is not players in the actual game, it's AI. And in the previous game, when you were driving around exploring the world, you would run into points in where you'd see people, real people doing that. And it wouldn't be all the time, but sometimes. They've now added AI players to kind of simulate that, and it makes it much more like lively. And I'm really, really glad that they did that. And obviously, eventually, you'll jump in and there'll be people doing the same multiplayer-wise, just like there was in the previous game. I'm super glad this is in the game. Some people were mentioning how the fact there aren't that many tuners. As we know, that Toyota has pulled out of a lot of games, so we might not see them for at least a while. And honestly, I was thinking, yeah, that's true. Maybe an R33, the Evo would be perfect for this, especially when it comes to off-roading, that sort of thing. But in general, it's a very good car selection list. I'm happy. I know I'm a bit biased because my favorite car is in the game, the Skyline. So I guess if you want to make a list down below of cars you'd like to see in the game, and I will tell someone. I will moan at somebody, and hopefully we get some more cars soon. But if you enjoyed this video, be sure to smash like, friends, subscribe if you are new, and we'll see you in the next episode. Until next time, peace.